I want us to talk about the issue of psychological effect to the coronavirus problem or pandemic. And I'm glad to have one of the lecturers in St. Paul's University, a counseling and psychology expert, who will be talking about it right now. Jane Ngunjiri, how are you?
I'm very fine, Dr. Good afternoon, viewers.
The viewers are very fine. They are listening to you. They are waiting to hear what is supposed to happen, what we are supposed to do, because they have been telling us to isolate ourselves. They have been telling us to self quarantine. They have been telling us to do all those things, stay at home, and I think there is what we call a psychological effect to all these things. Tell us, Dr. Ali, what should we do?
Thank you for this opportunity. Today, I'm going to talk about the psychological impact of the quarantine process. So, man is basically a social being. So, anytime he or she is forced with any form of isolation, he'll be affected negatively. How? Maybe you're wondering how the person will be affected.
Yes.
The person experiences emotional turmoil in terms of negative feelings like anger, wondering why me, why no, fear is very overrunning. The fear of maybe the person might contract the disease, the person might infect loved ones, there's also loss of income.
Yes.
Other feelings are like loneliness, bitterness, especially wondering if the person feels that maybe the person was infected by somebody intentionally.
Yes.
And of course, the person will be bored, just being in the house, 24 hours without any plan.
Yes.
And there's a lot of hopelessness and uncertainty among other negative feelings.
Okay. Jane, we have seen some people being taken to the quarantine and they kill themselves. I remember there was like this case of a lady who was taken to the quarantine and then she committed suicide. Why do you think some of these things are happening?
Oh, before I proceed there to the very extreme of those feelings, because when these feelings are not handled timely, that's when it leads to that adverse situation. But let me mention something that clarifies before I explain that. Those feelings are normal responses to abnormal situation.
Okay.
And they should be addressed at that point. If they're not addressed, that's when the person becomes suicidal. So today I'm going to explain what basically happens when the person is in quarantine. Yes, so that you're able to understand if the situation is not arrested, if the person is not able to handle those negative feelings, that's the time the person will get to that point of feeling suicidal.
Now we have, I can see we have very many people who are watching our show. We have Edward Kusewa. We have so many people who are watching our show. I think I should also welcome them in the show so that they can also see that we can be able to use the technology to do some of these things. Jen, I would also want you to explain to our viewers now, what do we do after the COVID-19 when it comes to some of these issues of psychological effect? How do we handle the problem after that? Do we go and see counselors like you, or how are we supposed to do?
Before I get there, it's very important to know basically what happens when you find yourself in any quarantine situation. Yes? First of all, that is unfamiliar territory.
Yes.
It's that leads to a state of disequilibrium. You are forced by circumstances to stay indoors. Okay. And like I mentioned earlier on, man is a social being. So you are forced by circumstances to stay indoors.
Yes.
And it's mainly, that situation is mainly abrupt, not unexpected and not planned for.
Yes.
And then you go through a lot of negative thoughts due to the negative news, numbers is rising, I can die, what will happen to me, will I be infected? There's a lot of negative thoughts. And then you're expected to change your behavior, new behavior. And then you're not going out, not interacting with friends, basically not going out. It's not
Yes,
business as usual. It's a new situation.
Mm.
And then there is too little to do, leading to boredom and apathy. Yes, you're very busy initially, like people knew you were busy, and then suddenly there's nothing to do. You don't know what you'll do tomorrow. You don't know what you're going to do in the afternoon. So the tendency to be idle and bored are very high, and
Yes,
there's
yes.
lack of focus.
Yes.
So now let me get to now your question, what you had asked. What are you supposed to do to avoid getting to a situation of now psychological illness? Because like I mentioned earlier on, those responses are normal to abnormal situation and new situation. So then what are you supposed to do? These are the intervention. And basically the goals of intervention is to help people to cope.
Yes, yes.
Because remember, it's a new situation.
Yes, yes.
And to reduce the negative psychological impact. You don't want
Yes.
people to be suicidal and to get into clinical depression.
Yes, yes.
And then basically restore a state of equilibrium.
Yes.
To be up and about like the way you were before the
Yes, yes.
quarantine
Yes.
process.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yes.
So what are some of the interventions that can be made? One thing is to know is that when you find yourself in quarantine, there's so many negative thoughts. So the way you can do to cope is to change your way of thinking. Something referred to as cognitive restructuring. Being realistic about the situation and accepting it. You accept the situation that indeed I'm in this situation. Accept the situation as it is and try to figure out the best scenario vis-a-vis the worst scenario. And the way we do it in counseling is to try to figure yourself moving from the current negative and unpleasant situation to a better and pleasant situation. You can even draw the picture, the current situation in terms of the way you're thinking. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Of course, it's negative at the moment, especially as you're starting. But towards the end is the other side, whereby you can draw and depict the present, the best scenario. You're okay, you're not infected, and you're doing it for your own good. In between those two scenarios, there is a bridge. There is a bridge that you need to cross to get to the other side.
Yes, yes.
And then ask yourself, what are the benefits of the current situation of being in quarantine? So,
Jane,
right, okay.
Okay, you continue.
So, within now the current situation, try to assess and ask yourself, what are the benefits? Write them. Of course, I'm doing it for my own good. I'm doing it for the loved ones. I'm doing it as a responsible citizen. And it's only temporal. I'll get over to the other side. So see yourself, visualize yourself getting to the other side. That is the way you can be able to change the negative way you're thinking to positive. Yes. So focus on positive aspect of the quarantine situation.
Okay.
And then you assure yourself that personal assurance that you'll be better because you're doing it for your own good. The other thing that you can do to just feel better and to cope is to focus on what is working and what is within your control now.
Yes.
Yeah, because one of the tendency of people in quarantine is feeling helpless. Yes, but if you can be able to focus, at least there's one thing that is working for you. What is it that is working for me, not this? Yes. What can I do? Ask yourself the following questions actually. What can I do to feel okay?
Like you're telling me to start writing a book now.
Yes, it's not feeling bad. You have a lot of potential. Don't complain when you're busy again. Human beings, when they're busy, they complain. You make presentations. Like me, I'm making the best out of this. Now I'm going to make a presentation. Yes. I'm going to make a presentation in one of the conferences about this. So make the most out of this. Ask yourself, what can you do to feel okay? How can I be okay with being alone? You can even engage in hobbies. Yes. Playing musical instruments. And if you see writing, whatever it is, something to make you feel like you're making the most. And something, this is very important, something that you can look forward to. Oh, I'm going to do this today. Tomorrow I'm going to, the topic, whatever. Or today I'm going to do. If you're a parent at home and you're forced, this is a golden opportunity to stay with your kids. You've always been busy. and to
Yes.
teach them and to
Yes.
ask yourself what you can be able to do and make the most of what the current situation.
But
And then when you
Jenny,
feel
you're
excuse me.
telling us to do as much as possible. We have lost our jobs. Our businesses have collapsed. How are we going to do the best we can be able to do when when financially we are down?
There is always a silver lining. The other time I witnessed people with cars. Let me
Yes.
tell you what people are doing.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Those people with cars,
Mm.
they are selling food from the, you just need to get a permit from your
Yes.
elder chief, you get food and then you supply them. Some people are making face
Killing.
masks at home.
Yes.
Just think of what you can be able to do. There's something positive at least you can be able to do.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. But I'm talking about people who are in quarantine. You are not in quarantine. There's those people who are in quarantine. But even if you have people like you who are bored at home, make the
Yes.
most. There's something you can be able to do. Yes, online stuff. Yes.
But I'm
Yes.
in self quarantine.
You yourself in quarantine. Okay, then what ask tell us how are you making the most out of it, Daktari? Since you're in
One,
self quarantine.
actually, I've learned a lot, especially about online issues. I've
Uh-huh.
I've been in school. I've made sure that I'm in school. Actually, I'm learning more about what I can be able to do online. I'm
Uh-huh.
also trying to see what I can be able to write. I'm writing articles. There are so many things that I'm doing actually. In fact, as you are saying, this is
Uh-huh.
the time people are supposed to take advantage and do what they have always wanted to do, and they do, and they don't have time to do it.
Yes.
Yes,
If
yes,
your mother,
yes.
if your mother and you have small kids, instead of taking them to the salon, why can't you
Mm.
just experiment on braiding something? Experiment on something. This is the time to experiment because you have all time.
Yes,
Just figure out what you can be able to do, even if it's a hobby.
yes,
Okay?
yes,
Can I
yes, yes.
continue?
Yes, you can
Can
continue.
And then, and then when you're feeling okay, this is also very important. Some people feel okay and feel guilty. Don't feel guilty when you're
Mm,
coping and feeling okay.
mm,
And then try to stay with the feeling. It's
mm,
called gestalt in counseling. Stay with
mm,
the feeling and
mm,
express your thoughts and feelings daily. You
mm,
can write.
mm,
Yes? Even those people are idle like you, try
mm,
writing. Huh?
mm.
How are you feeling when you're starting this? Let's do at the end. And
Yes,
encourage other people to just share their experiences, follow through whatever it is, what you've always wanted to research on. But please stay at home and but focus and listen to your feeling, how you're feeling,
mm,
and what you're thinking and how you're feeling, especially for those people who find themselves in mandatory quarantine.
okay.
And then focus on building resilience through
Yes,
positive recommended behavior
yes,
and self-care.
okay.
Yes, there are
Yes,
those recommended behavior like eating a well-balanced exercise. Exercise is also good
yes,
in
yes,
elevating your mood.
yes,
It's not only good for you physically and medically,
yes,
but it also helps to alleviate your mood.
yes,
You
yes,
feel better,
yes,
okay? And then
yes,
have adequate sleep.
yes.
And then try to manage anger when you find yourself feeling angry
Mm,
of I don't know what the economy, the world, the Chinese, the who brought the disease, the
mm,
numbers. Try
mm,
to manage that.
mm.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
And then if you're at home like you, again, you
You
focus
are,
on small and you and others and me
yes, yes,
included, focus
yes.
on small achievable goals
Mm,
that will boost your self-esteem and you can look forward to.
yes.
That's why we write a book now.
I,
Write a
I,
book.
I'm doing it.
Teach
I'm doing it.
students.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm trying to think about what I can be able to write for. Now, you see, the problem, Jane, is that books in Kenya, people don't read books. They want videos like what we are doing actually. Now, this is what Kenyans need: videos,
Ah,
something they can be able to watch. But I think we also need to write books. I know you have written one, especially for the
yes.
parents who have teenage children. And
Mhm.
I know you are going to write another one about some of these things. I remember you are telling me that you can even write a paper on the psychological effect on COVID-19, which I think it should be very important because this is a problem the world has today.
Yes. And it's
Yes,
in Kenya. So I
yes,
intend to to construct a questionnaire and give it to those people in quarantine just to figure out whether this is what they go through. This is secondary review,
Yes.
And then by then I'm working on my second book. I'm working on the aging process because I'm also aging.
I just hope it is going to capture something on this.
No, that one is different because I had started earlier on. From adolescence, it's about now the aging process.
Okay.
That's a story for another day, Dr. Ari.
Yes,
I want to summarize about how to deal with the turbulent emotions associated with the quarantine period. And I'm going to summarize in 6 steps. 1, take responsibility for your feelings.
Yes.
Don't blame others for your situation. In Kenya, it's very easy to blame the Chinese, the government, it's ideas, you do what, tunaomba serikali's idea, Kenyans. So, take responsibility for your feelings and the situation. Don't blame others. And then, learn to focus on your emotions. So that is what we refer to as staying and becoming aware of how you are thinking and feeling. Focus on how you're feeling. That is on a day-to-day basis. This is how I was feeling day 1, day 2, day 3. If you'll be in quarantine for 14 days or 21 days, or if you'll be, just monitor your emotions and your thoughts. And then try to define and identify them. Identify these thoughts and feelings. Remember, I said if you can be able to depict yourself from the current situation to a better situation, there is hope after quarantine.
Yes.
Tell people there is hope. They're moving on. There's life. Yes. And ask yourself, what is the story behind what I'm going to do? What is the story behind your experience? So write it down. And like I said earlier on, depict the story. And if you can be able to do that using the first person, and then using another person's perspective, how would someone else describe what you're going through? And then after doing that, share how you're feeling with your loved ones through social media platforms. Yes, and I guess that's what I'm doing. And you also get an opportunity to share your experience, Dr. Yes. So just tell your story and then ask yourself, how would somebody else be able to describe me and how I'm feeling now? And then you share your story with the loved ones. I've mentioned that through social media platforms, Facebook, Zoom, WhatsApp. And then it's also important to list your experience by writing it down or through rituals like meditation, yoga. Right? If you can be able to do a song, can you be able to sing? Maybe you can be able to sing about what you're going through, Dr.
I used to sing in a choir, but I can try. I think I can try. Now you're telling me to start creating a song right now.
Yeah, there's what you're going through. There's what you're going through as an individual, and then there's what we're going to do collectively. Yes. Yeah, so it's very important for people to be able to express themselves and share how they're feeling, so that finally they'll be able to emerge as well. What we refer to in counseling as wounded healers. They'll be able to tell their story. They'll be able to encourage others in future going through similar situations. Like what happened to that lady. You remember Brenda? The one who went online?
I remember.
Yeah. If you can be able to document and focus on how you're feeling, you'll be able to encourage others as a wounded healer. And then finally, stay present. That's the start, focusing on the moment to moment experience. Moment to moment experience. Don't block feelings. Because what happens when you block feelings? It takes you longer to heal. And then you get to the other side of clinical depression, suicidal tendency. But if you can be able to do all that, you'll be able to feel better. And you'll be able to feel that, it was not wasted time. So avoid negative ways of coping when you feel overwhelmed. People have that tendency, especially men, with all due respect. Alcohol use is on increase. People are not buying and stocking at home because they're not, pubs are closed. So some people are buying and stocking them at home. It's a negative way of coping. Yes, and self-medication, avoid self-medication
Okay.
and abuse.
Okay.
So in conclusion,
Mm.
every time you are discouraged,
Mm.
when you're in a current situation, you're discouraged,
Mm.
remember that we are
Mm.
in this together,
Mm.
fighting a common enemy.
Mm.
It's a global war. Yes, we
Okay.
are fighting a common enemy,
Mm.
COVID-19.
So it
And
is
then
not
focus
your
on
war
what you can.
alone. It is
Yes,
not your
we are in
war
it
alone.
together, all of us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we are in it together. And
Okay.
then focus on what you can be able to control.
Mm.
And then celebrate baby steps. When you
Mm.
make progress, celebrate whatever you do. Yes, baby steps.
Okay.
And then find creative ways of connecting with people. I mentioned that.
Mm.
If possible, try to keep a structured routine
Mm.
and focus more on life beyond the quarantine period.
Okay.
Yeah. And then reduce TV time if you can.
Why?
You don't need periodic updates. What for? Those numbers will not make you
Oh,
depressed. Yeah,
yeah.
so reduce TV time and focus on other hobbies.
Okay.
You need the numbers, surely.
So we are depressing ourselves by seeing these numbers that are
Yes,
here on
not
the TV.
periodic. 1,000 people died today, CG in which countries, CG what?
Mm.
Yes, me, I only watch those whatever updates once in the evening.
Okay. So now, Jane, are you through?
Yes, I'm through now.
So, Jane, now because you are a counseling psychologist expert,
Yes.
and people are
Uh-huh.
going to have problems, and they already have problems, where can they find you?
Okay, I have a counseling center in Rimuru.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can call me. What we can do now because of this social distancing,
Mm.
we can organize for online sessions.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and then I just give you an opportunity to just talk about how you're feeling, some of the challenges you're going through, and they'll
Okay.
be contextualized. You know,
Yes.
listening, just talking is therapeutic.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
So our counseling center is called RAFA, RLPHA,
Okay.
RAFA Counseling Center.
Rafa Counseling Center.
Yes, you can give them my number
Yes.
and my email address.
Okay.
Yes, we can organize some online sessions.
Okay. So,
Yes.
thank you very much, Jane, for being my guest today. And I think
Welcome.
yeah, we should be having as many sessions as possible, especially on counseling. You know, this is an area that everybody has a problem with because if we are not fighting COVID-19, we have children. And you
True.
can see how our children has become big-headed these days. And you people are needed so that you can be able to help us to bring up those children. So I'll be looking for you. We will be having some of these shows, and I think we should organize one now because it is possible. We should organize one in the evening when everybody is at home and we talk about parenting.
True, true, true.
Yes.
That's
So
my
thank
passion.
you.
Mm.
Eh?
Yeah,
Continue.
true. You know, my book is on parenting. So, you know, my book
I
is on
know.
parenting.
I,
Yes.
I can even give you an opportunity to talk about the book. We do it chapter by chapter.
Because you're more time.
Yeah, why
You're
should we
more
not?
time.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, a whole book so that people can be able to even understand what you have done in that book.
It's a way of coping, perfect way of coping, and looking forward to it. It is
Yes,
something
yes,
that
yes,
you can be able to look at, and also we are also contributing positively. We are giving back to society.
yes,
To
yes,
appreciate. And also,
yes,
thank you for this forum.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
Thank
you're also making the most. I can see you're making the most out of
you.
the. Is it now? Now you're locked down. You're not in quarantine. We've been locked.
I have
Yes,
isolated myself.
you've isolated yourself. And you're
Yes,
making the most out of it. But I can see the positive thing. You're making the most out of it.
yes, yes.
So
So
thank you so much.
okay, thank you, thank you. So
Okay.
the program or the session was live in Facebook. I told you that.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and we can even put it in YouTube if you have a YouTube channel. And people just
Yes.
download it and have a
Uh,
nice afternoon.
yeah, just put it and be able to follow it through later. YouTube channel. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
So thank you,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.
Okay.